It's a beautiful, beautiful day. So why not go across the street and pick some spruce tips? See if there's anything else over there. In it. Still learning the camera. All over here on the other side of this fence. A lot of fresh green. Not that real dark green, but like that nice fresh new growth green. So gonna go over there, pick some spruce tips, and see if there's anything else over there. I saw some dandelions popping up the other day, just, you know, throughout Virginia Beach, just because the weather's been, you know, hot, cold. So yeah, who knows, might be able to get some dandelion greens, maybe some wintergreen, I don't really know. But yeah, we're gonna see. Maybe some mushrooms. I would be stoked if there were some puffballs or something over there. But yeah, we're gonna go do that, and then we're gonna come back and bottle up a couple little bottles of mead. Got over here and it's absolutely perfect. All of this, I thought there was a little bit of water back here. I thought it was like drainage, but there is like a little bit of a creek back here. It's pretty nice. There's a bunch of trash, of course. I'm gonna come over here one day. I'm gonna keep foraging over here and bring some trash bags and start cleaning up over here, because that's ridiculous. But found this beautiful little magnolia tree out here, starting to sprout up. Lots of spruce tips. Everything's fresh. I'm gonna walk more towards the intersection again, or, you know, walk pretty far down here. But the nice stuff. I'm about to, on the way back, kind of right across the street at, there was a good chunk of juniper berries. So not only am I going to take some spruce tips, I'm going to take some juniper berries. All these trees are so look at these guys. They just look. I'm sure all this down here will clear up a little bit once it gets warm. Be a little nicer to come down here and maybe get in the water, pair of waders, and dig out there, see if there's any cool stuff out there. But yeah, this is definitely a good little spot to come over to, that I know I should be able to hit, you know, a few times again before spring for some spruce tips and juniper berries, which will be really nice. I definitely want to use some of these juniper berries for a mead. I really like that slight flavor that it gives to it, especially once they start to age on it. But I mean, this is just nice, dude. There's so much stuff over here. There's things that I think this is a fern. You know, I'm not a genius. I'm not a ecologist. But I want to say this is, no, maybe it's not a fern. It's got stalks on it. Some type of pine tree. I'm stupid. But yeah, this is really cool. There's definitely a lot of stuff. There's some smaller trees over here that are definitely going to start budding some juniper berries here soon. So the tree I take from, I only really saw one with like a good flush on it. But that tree, you know, you don't want to take, whenever you're harvesting stuff, you don't want to take a ton. You know, get a little bit from here, get a little bit from there. So that tree I will pull a good bit off of, just because it has a really good flush on it. But I'm not gonna, you know, deprive it of all its berries. Same thing when you're picking spruce tips. Like, go through, take some of the fresh tips, take some of those soft little nodules on the top for some flavor, but don't take everything. Don't take all the brand new growth that's coming off the tree. You know, let it grow a little bit and start sprouting again. There's also a bunch of closed up pine cones over here, which I'm gonna try and take some of those to sprout inside. Oh, another magnolia tree. This one's looking really good. Beautiful. I want one of these for me. This thing's great. I don't know what that is. Grass of some sort. But this is the nice little honey hole beside home type deal. Just nice little bit of fresh winter forageables every now and then hopefully this weekend is nice, and Monday, I say weekend, Sunday, Monday's my weekend. Hope the weekend's nice, because Monday I want to go to one of the parks and go hiking and try to get some more stuff. Go out somewhere where there's definitely like some cattails. This is the time of year still where those little sprouts, they got a name. All right, don't ask me what it's called, but they got a name. The little sprouts come up above, you know, they don't really come up above the surface of the water. They're kind of starting to sprout, and they kind of halt their growth until it gets warm. So they're just kind of there, building up nutrients, doing their thing. And those are perfectly good to eat. Same thing, the rhizome that is under the water, cook it like a potato, safe to eat. And I'm really excited to, I think I've had cattails once in my life. Started thinking about it. I was like, yeah, I think I had them one time somewhere, and I had the rhizome, which, yeah, it was like a potato. But I want to try doing it some different ways. But yeah, we're about to get back down here to this little patch and start cutting some stuff. But first, I'm just gonna relax and enjoy nature for like 15 minutes and not talk to the camera. Look at these beauties. Oh, don't they just look delicious? They look like they're good for you. They look like they're supposed to be here. They look healthy, and they look like they're gonna taste delicious. A lot of these are still pretty small, so I didn't take a ton. I'll probably come back out in a couple of weeks, you know, and take a couple more. But I grabbed a little bit so that way I can have some, and then I'm definitely gonna take some to work so we can have something cool to play around with. But yeah, now I'm about to just fill a little bag with some spruce tips and then head back to the apartment and work on some projects before work. A little foraging trip was fun. Now it's time to bottle up this last little bit of mead, which is still pretty, oh no. Haha, I didn't overfill it. Sometimes you overfill it, you know, it happens. This guy's still got a little carb on it in the jar, which makes me hopeful for the one that is not in the jar, the one that's already in the bottle, which I'm going to pop here in a second. This is messy. But now is when things get fun. So these ones, these two, I chose darker bottles. I had these two small darker bottles sitting around from some beer I got at Smart Mouth. Bingo bango. And then you also, if you're doing this, you want to soak your corks for a little bit. I did mine with a little bit of, just a little bit of hot water. Oh, come on. Of course, this one don't want to go in. And this happens sometimes. Oh, there we go. It kind of went in there. We lost a little bit of cork, but that's okay. It'll be fine. But yeah, so now these two, as you can see, this one's not super full, so there's a likely chance that this one might spoil, which is fine. Turn it into beer. This one should have filled it just a little bit higher, but it was kind of bubbling. And then, you know, the little cork broke off. So we'll see what happens. You know, this is what happens when you're doing stuff at home sometimes. So I hope that this doesn't I hope it doesn't explode, but if it does, you know, hopefully this one doesn't really have much cork in it, so it'll just kind of right off the top, and then I could possibly recork it. But yeah, those two are gonna go in the cabinet. And this guy, oh man, you know, it's got little chunks in it. That's fine. It's not that big of a deal. I wish I would have been able to get a little bit more of them out of there, but it doesn't really matter. Let's see what happens. And yeah, that's crazy. There's like a little bit of bubbles going on, but nothing wild. Not exactly what we wanted to happen, but that's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and throw it in the fridge today and let it do its thing. It is what it is, you know, that's life. It's the life of, you know, home brewing, testing stuff out. when you're not, you know, I'm not a brewer. I'm just a guy that knows a little bit about brewing and a little bit about making wine. And I'm thankful to have some friends that really know what they're doing. Shout out Sean Phillips. That's my dude. That's my dude. I'm gonna call him this weekend, figure out what the step is, what I need to actually do to get a sparkling wine. You know, what do I need to do to get that final sparkling wine without, you know, having to actually carbonate it. Like I don't want to have to get like a siphon and CO2 canisters or a tank of CO2 and a rig to carbonate it. I just want it to do it on its own. And I don't know if, you know, maybe something more like a champagne route, sparkling wine route, where they, you know, champagne, they'll add yeast and a little bit of sugar into the bottle, and then they store it upside down. It's something I learned recently. They kind of store it in an angle, and they sit there and they turn it every day, and that yeast kind of stays towards the neck, but it recarbonates. And then what they do is they like freeze the tip of it, and they blow off. They've just put like a beer cap on the top of it. They blow that off. And then after they blow that off, they throw a cork in it, and then it's carbonated. So, I don't know. We're figuring it out. We also, since we got some cool forageables this morning, gonna do another little batch of the pine soda to see what happens, the spruce tip soda. So I got about, you know, what's that look like to you? About 3/4 of a gallon of water. About a cup and a half of sugar is in here. I'm gonna add some honey to it later because I want that flavor. But then we're just gonna, I threw a cinnamon stick, dry Merita pepper, and some cloves. The Merita pepper's kind of got like a blueberry flavor to it. It's also a little bit smoky, which will kind of be cool. And then yeah, hopefully these super, super fresh spruce tips will work better than the last ones, which still did work, even though they were old. And then we're also just gonna throw in some that one looks like shit. Do 2 pretty decent juniper branches, and then I'm gonna wash my hands real quick before I put everything actually down in there. You know, it's not that bad having some yeast and bacteria on your skin is whatever. The idea is that hopefully this wild yeast will kind of take over everything and be the you know, the primary fermenter. I don't even do that. I'm just gonna shake it up. Oh, there we go. Didn't have the lid on there tight, dude. See, this is what we're here doing this together. We're making messes. It happens. That's life. And then I throw the shit on the floor because it looks cool. And then as soon as I'm done recording this, I'm gonna have to clean everything up. But it's fine. But yeah, you know, we'll see how this goes. I might put just a little bit more water in here so there's a better water line. But yeah, I'm just gonna let this sit out on the counter for 5 days, and hopefully it carbonates up. And then yeah, that's really all that's going on this Wednesday. Gonna take the rest of this juniper to work, hopefully do something cool with it. Check in on these wines in a little bit. Probably post a little short later in the week if something cool happens, you know, if the soda starts carbonating pretty hard or anything. But yeah, other than that, stick around, you know, next Wednesday. See what's happening. Sorry, I spaced out. That happens. But yeah, you know, February 9th, that'll be first fermentation Friday video. Trying to figure out what I want to do. Kind of thinking maybe a little fermented salsa action, or do like a winter pickle with some cucumbers. But yeah, so stick around. I'm gonna go clean up my mess. No, would you look at the garlic? Almost forgot. It's starting to sprout up. My mint kind of died, which is fine, because these guys, I picked this one out of the soil yesterday. I put it back, but it has gotten some roots starting to grow on it, which means these probably have some roots growing on them too. There's a couple little bits of radish scattered all about. But yeah, so once these get a little bit more root on them, we'll those to some different pots, and then, you know, hopefully have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at least 5 pineapple sage, and then I've got a couple in water as well. So, you know, maybe 7 altogether. And then once they start bushing up, cut some more, you know, do another round of 7, get them nice and bushy. But yeah, so yeah, that's all that's happening now. I have nothing else to say. So have a good Wednesday. And, you know, if you woke up today and you thought about doing something, why not just do it?